Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. It is the beginning of trading week number 14, and this week is a short week in the US because Good Friday is on a Friday, and we're going to have 4 days of trading. But this video, I want to cover last week's trade. So I'm going to cover all of last week's trade, which happened to be the end of Q1. If you want to learn more about investing, you can reach out to me here. This is a Facebook social group, Investing 102. This is where you can level up your knowledge. We talk about more advanced stuff. So let's go straight to E-Trade. So we got E-Trade loaded. First thing I do is go into this transaction. We're going to get the last 7 days. And then we're just going to copy all this data out. And we're going to paste it into a pivot table that I have. You go to the pivot table, and it will look something like that. I'm going to copy a little bit more data, and then let me massage it for you. With the magic of editing, this is what the E-Trade data looks like. Now, I do added a few columns to help me with the pivot table. Go straight to the top. Go over here. So next thing we're going to do is hit refresh, and I believe all the data will come in. So let me just double check some of this before we move on, and I think that's okay. Let's move on to the monthly data chart. Let me just hit the refresh button. So now I just got to go and fix this here, and I believe I checked all the numbers, and I think this is right now. So I can tell you all these are green because each P&L is larger than the previous one. So that's good. I had a losing week over here where I had a 6,600 and I took a big loss. There's a projection for number of trades. So I think everything is okay here. The best way is to go to the raw data and take a look at some of the values. And I think that, so let's get started on the actual data. And the first thing we're going to do is take a look at 456 method, and I put a filter on 456, and this is what it looks like in week 13. I made 82 bucks, but for the year you can see I made about 18%, which is about 1.42% for the year. The next thing I'm going to do is put a filter on 4K Visa, and I did, and this is what it looks like. I'm only using $4,000 on max capital or max loss, which is a nice return, 19% so far for this year. Now let's get into the trades for week number 13. And for week number 13, we made a little bit under $400, which is nice. Let's put a filter. Let's do EA. And this is what it looked like last week. I made 12 bucks. And then you can see how this now is adding value each week. Whoops. Let's not go that far. This is last year's. And then this is this year. So let's only look at this year. So this is how much we made in EA. 329 for this year. And remember, most of this is just writing a single cover call. You got to subtract some of the dividend out so that the data is more accurate. But you can see how this trade is making money. Let's go and look at the next trade. Let's look at block. This is what block looks like. The only thing I want to do is remove this here. This is not an option. This is I bought 50 shares. So I like to remove this so that our data is not skewed. So we'll remove that. And this is what block looks like for this year. So let's just take a quick look. We'll go from here. this looks okay. I made about $450 in Square. So the last thing I want to talk about before I close is you see that I'm on a pretty good trend, but this doesn't mean I'm out of it. What happened is the market has been up 4 weeks out of the last five, and I do have several open iron condors, and that would be bad if market stays green. So I can have one big loss sometime in April or May. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But I ended Q1 really good because now this making 12,000 is not a lot because in the past I have this is historical data, so I'm outpacing last year's pace, but I am not beating this pace. You see, I had 16,000 at this point in the previous year. So that's the good thing about tracking data. You can see where you're at. But this year, again, I'm pretty happy with the results so far because my goal is to be consistently green. And if you do that with enough weeks in a row, ultimately you're going to have a profitable trading year and a profitable trading plan. With that being said, hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and I do post on Twitter under Solving Chaos. Don't forget, let's do this together and let's do this $1 at a time. Have a profitable day.